Welcome. Today, I'd like to show off one of the coolest consoles in my gaming collection, a home console 3DS. Now, before I get started with this video and explain everything, I highly suggest you go and check out Tito's video, where he accomplishes this same exact task of creating a home console 3DS. However, Tito uses SnickerStream to cast his gameplay to his computer or TV, and uses input redirection to wirelessly connect a Bluetooth controller to his 3DS. Now, I have done this myself, and it certainly works. Sort of. In my experience, input redirection is certainly a viable way to control your 3DS, but it'll have minor input lag that does eventually become pretty frustrating. And SnickerStream is honestly hard to use, as you experience many drop frames, especially on the bottom screen, and in my opinion, not the final answer that I would want to use for my truly home console 3DS. I want something that truly feels like booting up my 3DS like a normal console, but with the gameplay on a big screen in my home and controlling it with a more comfortable controller. Especially today, since we can connect to online play once again thanks to Pretendo. I couldn't afford any drop frames or input lag. So, how do we improve on Tito's design? While I do applaud Tito for being able to accomplish this task without any hardware mods, in order to make this 3DS the best it can be, hardware mods are necessary. Specifically two. The first, Tito spoke about in his video, the 3DS Capture mod. This adds a USB slot to your 3DS that can connect directly to your computer. There is no delay in the capture, so casual gamers can simply plug and play. And if you're a content creator like me, you can easily capture both screens with OBS or whatever your favorite video capture software is. The second mod is the Loopy Controller mod. This hardware mod allows you to connect an external controller to your 3DS directly. At the time of this recording, the mod works with GameCube, N64, PS1, and Wii Classic controllers. Just like the game capture mod, there isn't any input lag and allows you to compete online to the best of your ability. So, how does one acquire these hardware mods? Well, if you have any soldering experience, there are numerous places online that send you DIY kits where you can install these mods yourself and videos that will show you a tutorial. However, if you are like me and don't know how to solder, or frankly, anything to do with hardware, then you can purchase pre-modded 3DSs. I purchased mine from Fingercramp, and will leave a link in the description. The team at Fingercramp was incredibly kind to me and answered all of my questions before my purchase, and I've been highly satisfied with everything involving my purchase. So now's the time to reveal the fully home console-fied 3DS. Now, the first thing to show is that the capture card mod gives different options to display the two screens if you're only using one monitor screen. However, to get the full effect of a home 3DS, I mounted a smaller TV to act as the 3DS's touchscreen and placed it above my main TV. One of the greatest features of the system is the sound. Many 3DS games have wonderful soundtracks. Hearing the theme to Super Mario 3D Land play through your TV's speakers rather than just the 3DS's speakers makes me so happy. Some other absolutely wonderful perks is the now ability to play 3DS Virtual Console games on the big screen. See, we've had the ability to play retro Pokemon games on the big screen with a controller in the past, thanks to Pokemon Stadium or the Game Boy player on the GameCube, and long ago, the Super Game Boy for the SNES. However, those all required physical cartridges for Gens 1 and 2 of Pokemon. Those games unfortunately don't allow you to transfer up your Pokemon to modern Pokemon games, meaning that the only way to catch Pokemon, like a shiny Celebi for example, is through the 3DS Virtual Console. Thanks to this now home console, catching Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon to complete your collection can now be enjoyed on a big screen with friends hanging around the couch. Another game that gets an improvement from last we've seen it is Mario Kart DS. The last improvement on how to play Mario Kart DS is when it was released to the Wii U Virtual Console. While it is absolutely wonderful to play it on the Wii U, you can't enjoy it with your friends online. As we now have Wi-Fi to thank for the revival of the DS Online servers, Mario Kart DS and all of your favorite DS games can now be enjoyed online with your friends on your home console 3DS. I will say personally, after playing Mario Kart DS with a GameCube controller, it feels so natural that it is honestly hard to go back to playing it on a standard DS system. While Virtual Console and DS games feel great on the home console 3DS, they are mostly improved just by control and accessibility. However, 3DS games are absolutely stunningly beautiful. During the prime of the 3DS, I always felt like many of these games belonged on the big screen. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, Kid Icarus Uprising, heck, even Pokemon X and Y, and yes, of course, many more. Many of these games have been trapped to the smaller screens on the 3DS, truly taking away from the immersion that should be felt with these games. Many of these games are absolute masterpieces and deserve to be played on larger screens. There is just something that feels right about enjoying a game on a couch while you and some friends all gather around the TV, passing the controller to beat levels and solve puzzles. All of these 3DS games are finally granted this opportunity thanks to this new console. So let's do this. Let's load up a save file on Ocarina of Time, and let me just pull out a Deku stick and uh-oh. How do I push the touchscreen buttons? Not to worry. The 3DS homebrew community has thought of this. Now, of course, this next bit of information requires you to homebrew your 3DS. Now, I can't condone or tell you how to do it, but if you are interested in learning how to homebrew your system, it won't be hard to find a tutorial on YouTube. If you do have a homebrewed 3DS, you can download Rehid. Now, Rehid is a button mapping software that allows you to remap any input on the 3DS. However, we can use this to put touchscreen presses on buttons. In the case of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, the D-pad is virtually unused. So with Rehid, I simply map the 4 D-pad inputs to the 4 corners of the touchscreen, and now all of those bottom screen buttons are on my controller. Well, what about the map gear and items? Since there aren't any more unused buttons for Zelda, Rehid also allows for mapping of button combos. So let's add L plus R plus a D-pad input, and voila! Now we have every touchscreen input that we need in the entire game set to a button. Now, homebrewing your 3DS won't just make controlling your game easier either. Many 3DS games on the second market are expensive to purchase. Or if you're like me and want to have every Pokemon game that came out for the 3DS on your system, you would have needed to purchase any eShop titles before the closing of the eShop. Now that all gets solved with this system. If you have a homebrewed 3DS, you can download the H-Shop. The H-Shop is an eShop replacement that contains every game, DLC, theme, and more that was ever available on the eShop, and lets it download them all onto your 3DS completely for free. I absolutely love this system. It honestly feels like a brand new Nintendo console. I can realistically say that the 3DS in 2025 is better than the 3DS during its prime. Now in 2025, we can play all 3DS and DS games online with our friends, as well as enjoy the entirety of the 3DS Virtual Console, all without spending a penny on acquiring the games. Not to mention that the online server Pretendo allows cross-platform play between 3DSs and 3DS emulators. Have a friend who doesn't own a 3DS but wants to adventure with you in The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes? Perfect. Tell him to hop online. Want a shiny hunt for a Celebi? Sure, do it on the big screen. The last time we saw Pit on a big screen was 1986 on the NES. Go ahead and enjoy his best game, Kid Icarus Uprising, now with a controller. Want to pass the controller around after each level in Super Mario 3D Land? Go ahead and enjoy it with your whole family. The home console 3DS truly captures the full potential of the Nintendo 3DS like never before. I am so excited to enjoy what it has to offer both in casual gameplay as well as making content on Twitch and YouTube. Now, before I end this video, I should say that Teetle's version of the 3DS home console is much cheaper than the version that I have here. However, if you want to game at the best quality and feel possible for 3DS games on actual hardware, there is no better option than this right here. I sincerely want to thank Fingercramp again for making this a reality. I will link them in the description below. Now, if you have any questions about this setup, or have a specific game that you want me to make a video on or stream with this setup, please let me know in the comment section. So far, I've been very good about replying to every comment, and I will try to continue that. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. I have a home console 3DS to play. See you next time.